Hello and welcome to a new episode of ALSU. Today, Bill Emmett of BMC Software is joining me, and together we're going to talk about what's the latest in ITSM. Welcome, Bill.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, Alf.
Share a little bit about yourself with my audience. How long have you been in BMC, and have you always been a software vendor, have you?
Well, I've been with BMC for about 5 years, but before that, I started my career doing IT management. So I actually started my career in system administration, got to do some development in the IT organization, and then moved on to research development roles and roles with on the vendor side, so that I could kind of see the same IT management problem from a different set of views.
Cool. And you're talking to us from sunny Colorado, is that right?
Yes, indeed. I am coming at you from sunny Colorado, Denver, Colorado. I actually just moved from one of my favorite places on earth, Fort Collins, Colorado, just a couple of months ago.
Cool. Good.
By the way, these paintings here all depict some of the wonderful things you'd see in downtown Fort Collins.
Really? Well, I have to come and visit. I've never been there, actually.
Please do. You'd love it.
So next week, you getting on a plane to go to San Jose for the WWRUG, the Remedy user group. Is that correct?
That is correct. Next week we have it's the largest annual gathering we have of our Remedy users, consultants, partners. It's a great opportunity for people to go to sessions, technically learn a lot of new tips, tricks, capabilities of BMC Remedy from the people that are actually doing this every single day and week. It's a great opportunity to hear about the future for what we're doing with Remedy. We have a lot of exciting things that we're going to be talking to our users and our friends at RUG about that we haven't had before. And it's also just great networking. It's an opportunity to meet people whose jobs and what they're doing day in and day out are really similar to what they're doing, some of which have had the same challenges that you've run into, and may have some cool ideas for how you can, that you can bring back to your office when you get done with the conference.
Cool. So one of the things that I enjoy going to these rugs, and I think half a dozen times now, is you get a feel for what the next thing is. You get the taste of what's on the horizon. Beyond rug in general, what do you see is happening in ITSM, and what's the latest trends that you are following?
There are a couple really exciting things that are happening in the service desk industry, and I think that it's really going through what I think is a really powerful renaissance right now. One of those examples that comes to mind is the idea of consumerization. And by that, what I mean is that people are doing some really powerful stuff in terms of the way that they communicate with their friends, the way that they get some work done, get play done. They really want to bring that back, to their workplace, and the same kinds of cool things that you do day to day with your smartphone, with your mobile device. The fact that it's mobile, it's personalized to you, it knows where you are, but most of all, it just works. Those same kinds of concepts are really starting to permeate the way that IT and IT management, and at the core of that, the service desk is being done. So there are some really powerful concepts from that we're starting to see the service desk industry, and I think BMC is really at the forefront of that, really taking those concepts and pushing them forward and making them really interesting to the administrators of service desks and the people that consume IT services as well.
There's been a lot of talk about sort of a renaissance in ITSM. The development is happening rapidly there, but it's not necessarily on the traditional applications like service desk and change and those things. It's more on the periphery, like social and mobile and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of being able to take some of those concepts and really add value around the core service desk offering. And I just had an opportunity to talk to a customer that just had some amazing examples for how they are taking this on. In this case, it was a service provider who's looking at providing better service for mobile phone-based services primarily. They're looking at things like social media and starting to scan social media for people complaining about services. And if they see more than just one or two, but they can use analytics to kind of see a little bit of a pattern, using that as the basis to open up incidents and problems and get IT working on the problem and try to get ahead of problems before it really takes shape. Another thing that people are seeing more and more is that the end users and the IT organization is increasingly mobile. And now the challenge is, how do we get the goodness of that service desk to the IT professional who's solving problems, not from behind their desk, but for wherever that problem may be. And then, in fact, even for the end user who would just like to have a better connection with IT and be able to simply request services, ask for things, at times, frankly, complain about things from the comfort of their, comfort and convenience of the mobile device that they know and they use every day and that they trust.
Yeah. And there was an article that John Hall, our asset management guy, wrote the other day about how there's so much to learn from Uber, for example. And,
yes.
and he used just them as one of the many examples of cool apps out there. And some of the comments that came back was that there isn't that much to learn from these consumer apps because IT is a different world. And to me, that was this glaring gap between perception and reality. As a business guy who wants to use business tools that are fun and cool, and just like with the stuff I use at home, it's not about, does this integrate with that or does this match this? It's about what is my experience like. It's how, I want, and not only do I want it, I'm not going to use what you have unless it has the ease of use of Facebook, the acceleration of Twitter, those type of things. Do you think IT is listening to this, or are they still operating in a world? Are we developing solutions that won't really be integrated into ITSM environments because IT is not ready for it, or is the pressure too big on them not to pick this up?
You hit on one of the things that I'm seeing in a big way, which is this idea of the user experience. And I think it's become the new third rail for how we evaluate IT success. Because a lot of times we've been using this mantra for so long, it was just this do more with less. Here's this efficiency objective, and here's how many services, how many capabilities are we doing. And that discussion ignores the one fundamental thing in the middle, which is what is the fundamental experience that's being provided to the end user. And I think that as part of this renaissance that we're really starting to see in service management is that recognition that is a very important metric that matters. That is a very important thing that when we evaluate, are we delivering good IT or are we delivering IT that could stand some improvement? To me, we can certainly look at efficiency metrics. We can look at what services we're offering, and it lives in a service catalog, and that's great. But really, what is the fundamental impression that end users have about the services they're getting, and does it help them get their job done? And that they're able to deliver the business value that they've been asked to deliver for the enterprise.
So what will the service desk of the future look like? Maybe not tomorrow, but in the coming years.
I think that there's going to be a couple really interesting attributes of it. I think the first thing that you're going to see is that it's going to be more empowered. It's going to give end users more capability to solve problems very quickly and very easily themselves, and it's going to basically kind of shift the burden of what we expect first-line operators to do, and at times what gets escalated up to the second line. I think the other thing that the service desk is going to do is it's going to really start to anticipate what it needs to work on and start to correlate things a little bit better. Give you a great example from a customer that I heard from just actually this week, which is that if you're going out and you're solving a problem, let's just say that you have to fix a server that has a hardware fault, so you physically have to be there. Yeah, and that's the thing that you have to react to right away. Can we also be a little bit thoughtful enough to start to include the sympathetic things, the low priority things that we didn't do because we didn't want to invest the time to do it at the time that we first noticed it, but since we're already there, maybe we should already do it. And this involves a really kind of the coordination between change, incident, problem, and knowledge management, and really start to think about how we put that stuff together in an intelligent way and render it in a way that's really easy to consume, that it can live on the palm of the hand of the mobile device, that person who's out there fixing the problem readily has access to. So I think that those are a couple examples for what the service desk of the future is going to look like. It's going to be out there where you need it. It's going to empower people, and it's going to really bring together different kinds of information that we haven't always brought together before.
Will you be down at RUG, by the way, next week?
I would not miss RUG for the world. It is truly one of those special events, and the thing that I really like it the most is that the Remedy community is it's kind of got this interesting thing in that it's both big, but it also feels very tight-knit as well. And that's something that I really like. There's a lot of tradition, but there's a lot of people coming into it as well. And it's just a great mix of people, and the quality of the information that people get in sessions, it's great. Just the conversations that you have in the hallway, you know, at dinner, out and about, at the party on Thursday. I've been at these before. It is just such a good. It is just such a great use of a week of time.
Cool. Would you be presenting or participating in any of the panels?
I'll probably be in a panel session, and I have a number of my colleagues that are going to be delivering some great sessions on a range of aspects of Remedy, everything from service request management to ITSM mobility, and some of our newer things that we've been rolling out over the last year as well.
Cool, great. Well, for you who going there and you have nothing to do on Wednesday at 3, come and watch me. I'll talk about mobility. If you have something better to do, don't come.
You know what? I would say that I wouldn't say if I have nothing better to do. I would say that is an excellent thing to do. So chances are you'll probably see me in your room. I promise not to make any weird faces or anything like that.
Oh, well. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come to the Zoo, Bill. I learned a lot, and we'll hopefully have you again on so you can talk about how this future evolves in front of us. I do think, as you said, there's a renaissance in ITSM. We just got to figure out exactly what that renaissance is and then help our customers understand what to do with it. So I think it was really educational to have you. Thank you so much, Bill.
Hey, thanks, Alf. A couple things before I let you go. First of all, you really got it right. It's an exciting time to be in the ITSM area right now. And the second thing, too, is I love that little zebra logo on the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. And to the rest of you, take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.